All right, you guys, a lot of breaking news to get you caught up on as we have states of emergency declarations. Things are intensifying. We're hearing that this is all-out war that is coming here. It is escalating very quickly. I'm going to be sharing with you the latest on this and all the headlines. All these articles are going to be linked in the description below so you can see what is unfolding, as there are also rumors of World War III. Now, watch these headlines. You're going to be seeing this is happening everywhere right now. Today, September the 23rd, 2024. And take a look at this. So first off, we have state of emergency declared in Israel until September 30th as Israeli escalation against Lebanon is occurring. I'm going to be sharing with you information on that. And take a look. This is the Iron Dome in Israel, just absolutely going nuts. This has been unfolding over the past 24 hours, couple of hours, just the footage coming out as they are defending themselves. And take a look at this. This is in Lebanon, in Beirut. This is the traffic to get out. Everyone is trying to get out of the area. And this comes as, take a look, thousands of people in South Lebanon flee intense Israeli bombardment. The Israeli military announced that it has hit some 800 targets, saying that it was going after Hezbollah weapon sites. And this comes as Benjamin Netanyahu had a message to Lebanon to get out now. He said, our war is not with you. Our war is with Hezbollah, and we are coming for them, basically. Now, I'm going to share with you this. I'm going to play it so you can hear exactly what it was he had to say, but take a look at the headlines coming out. Netanyahu on Hezbollah, we're not waiting for threats. We're preempting them. We are eliminating senior officials, terrorists, destroying missiles, and our hands are outstretched, he said as he met with Defense Military Minister Yoav Gallant. So they are issuing the warning. It is unfolding right now, but also we are seeing attacks against Israel happening right now. New rocket sirens triggered in Haifa and nearby towns. It is all out now. Take a look at this. I'm going to share with you the live updates here in just a second. This is coming out from CNN World. Israeli strikes Hezbollah targets as the conflict intensifies. And take a look at this coming out just about an hour ago. Israeli military spokesperson doesn't rule out the possibility of new ground operations in Lebanon. We're hearing that this could turn into an invasion, an all-out war. It is looking like it is going that route. Now, in addition to that, some of the other things that have been taking place simultaneously, look at this, you guys. IDF is testing DNA of bodies retrieved from Gaza to see if they were Sinwars. Results currently are negative, but they are speculating that they might have taken out Sinwar from Hamas. Now, they said that they are not sure, but they have not heard from him in days. So this is currently taking place. Now, in addition to that, take a look at this. Iran now coming out today. The president says Lebanon strikes are an Israeli trap to draw Tehran into war. Iran's foreign minister vows that his country, quote, will not remain indifferent as Israel, under constant rocket fire, launches heavy strikes on Hezbollah site across Lebanon. So Iran getting caught up in the mix of this. Look at this, also coming out. Russian military planes breached Japan's airspace 3 times in one day. Tensions increasing between Russia and Japan. The infringements were the first by Russia in 5 years, according to the Japanese defense. A fighter fired a warning flare in response. Now, in addition to that, I shared with you earlier today, we received the breaking news coming out that the Pentagon is sending over U.S. troops to the Middle East as tensions rise. Major General Patrick Ryder said that the Pentagon press secretary, declined to say exactly how many troops were being deployed, citing Operation Security, also not saying when he was asked directly, is this because we are about to go to all-out war? Again, he said, I cannot give specifics due to security. But you guys, things are intensifying right now. It is looking pretty much like we are going to war, and we are hearing World War III. Also, yeah, I see James mentioning Alaska. Not looking too good either. Yeah, man, absolutely intense right now all over the world. And if you think we're going into World War III, drop your threes in the comments. You guys, today, September the 23rd, 2024, things are intensifying. So let me go ahead and get you caught up on the latest, though. As I mentioned, these articles are going to be linked in the description below. I cite all the sources. Let me share with you the latest breaking news coming out in just the past couple of hours. More updates just rolling in right now as things are intensifying. Hit that like button for me. Subscribe to stay up to date. It's totally free. And like I said, these articles are going to be linked in the description along with additional resources for anybody that's interested in maybe getting prepared, thinking about potential cyber attacks, any of those things linked for you down in the description below. But let's go ahead and dive into this so that way you can see what's going on. And let's start off with this message coming out from Benjamin Netanyahu, and there is the Iron Dome. Wow, just absolutely incredible, taking out all those missiles fired upon Israel. Now let's go ahead and see what it was he had to say here. I just got to mute my mic, switch mics really quick so that way you can hear what it was that he had to say that caused all the people to leave Lebanon.
Directly at our cities. I have a message for the people of Lebanon. Israel's war is not with you. It's with Hezbollah. For too long, Hezbollah has been using you as human shields. It placed rockets in your living rooms and missiles in your garage. Those rockets and missiles are aimed directly at our cities, directly at our citizens. To defend our people against Hezbollah strikes, we must take out those weapons. Now, starting this morning, the IDF has warned you to get out of harm's way. I urge you, take this warning seriously. Don't let Hezbollah endanger your lives and the lives of your loved ones. Don't let Hezbollah endanger Lebanon. Please, get out of harm's way now. Once our operation is finished, you can come back safely to your homes.
There you have it, you guys. That was the message from Benjamin Netanyahu to those in Lebanon, telling them to get out now. And like I said, you can see the footage. They did not take that message lightly. People getting out of the area. So they are fleeing right now in concern of what is coming. Now, I'm going to be sharing with you the state of emergency that's been announced from Israel. But do me a favor, let me know also if you can hear me and see me okay, and drop a like so that way I can know that I just switched microphones, that everything's coming through all right. So just want to make sure before I proceed that everyone can hear me and see me okay. So put a 5x5 if you can still hear me and see me. And also drop a like while you're at it. Just helps spread this out further so more people can get the latest breaking information in the comments. And I know there's a slight delay, still not seeing it. So let me know if you can hear me and see me before I move forward, so I know that everyone's getting the information all right. Rosemary giving me the thumbs up, says sound is good. Excellent. Okay. They are running for the hills, says Jane. Yeah, they are right now. Like Benjamin Netanyahu issuing that warning, and they are getting out of there because it is about to go down. Now, in addition to that, as I mentioned, state of emergency right now declared in Israel until September 30th amid the Israeli escalation against Lebanon. Let's take a look at this so that way you can see exactly what it is that they're saying is happening. Now, the Israeli government on Monday today, this evening, has announced a nationwide state of emergency until September 30th amid its escalating strikes on Lebanon and anticipated expansion of Hezbollah rockets firing towards Israel. According to Israeli daily Yadoth Aharonoth, Israeli cabinet minister voted to declare a special home front situation throughout Israel. So they're calling this a special situation right now. The vote was done by telephone, as proposed by Defense Minister Yoav Gallant, the newsletter added. Now, Daily Hazet said that under the declaration, the army is granted powers to issue instructions to the Israeli public, allowing it to ban gatherings, limit studies, and issue additional instructions required to save lives. The declaration comes following an Israeli army assassination attempt against Ali Karkari, a top Hezbollah military commander, and I believe that he is one of the very few that are still left. We've been hearing they've been absolutely wiping them out. I shared with you the chain of command maps that they have, and they have just been wiping people out. And so this was another person that they were trying to hit. Israeli Army radio earlier quoted military sources saying that airstrikes on the southern suburb of Beirut had targeted Karkari. No further details on his fate were forthcoming, however. Lebanese health authorities said at least 274 people, including 21 children, have lost their lives and 1,024 others injured in Israeli attacks since Monday morning today. With thousands of civilians forced to flee their homes, the international community has warned against the strikes as they raise seize the scepter of spreading the Gaza conflict regionally. Hezbollah and Israel have been engaged in cross-border warfare since the start of the Israeli war on Gaza. So this has been going on ever since that attack from Gaza, which ended the lives of over 41,400 people, mostly women and children, following a cross-border attack by Hamas last October 7th. This article says, as they say, Israel has gone into a state of emergency. As they are saying, tensions are rising, things are escalating. And you can see here all the people fleeing. Israel launched hundreds of air attacks in southern and eastern Lebanon on Monday, ending the lives of 356 people as the Israeli military called on residents to immediately evacuate places where it claimed that Hezbollah stored weapons. Thousands of people fled southern Lebanon, jamming the main highway of Beirut. At least 1,246 people were injured in attacks, the health ministry has said. The Israeli military said that it hit more than 1,000 targets linked to Hezbollah weapon sites on Monday today, so over 1,000 of these being hit. We read something earlier that had said 800. It said it was expanding the operation to include areas of the Bekaa Valley along Lebanon's eastern border. Residents of different villages in southern Lebanon post photos on social media that they said showed their towns being struck. Let me know if you've seen those. I've been seeing them all over social media of those missiles and those bombs hitting. The wave of air attacks came a day after Hezbollah fired more than 100 rockets into northern Israel, with some landing near the city of Haifa. So this is them evacuating right now, trying to get out of there before things intensify. As I mentioned, Benjamin Netanyahu instructing them to get out now, saying the war is not with Lebanon, the war is with Hezbollah, and you need to get out because we are going to be striking. Now, Netanyahu on Hezbollah, we're not waiting for threats, we're preempting them. So we are eliminating senior officials, terrorists destroying missiles, and our hands are outstretched, he said as he met with Defense Minister Yoav Gallant. The IDF is preempting security threats rather than waiting to respond to attacks. So they're saying we're not sitting around waiting, we're proactively hitting prior to what we believe would be an attack. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said as IDF action to push Hezbollah back to the Litani River raised international alarm, drew threats from Iran, and caused concern in Washington. I would like to clarify Israel's policy to whoever does not yet understand, Netanyahu stated as he held security consultation with Defense Minister Yoav Gallant and IDF Chief of Staff Herzel Halavi. We are not waiting for the threat. We are preempting it everywhere, in every sector, constantly. We are eliminating senior figures, terrorists, and missiles. And our arm is still extended, he stressed. So he said, whoever tries to harm us, we will harm them all the more forcefully, he said. And as he underscored in a message, his issue. So right now, man, it says tipping the balance of power. Israel for the last week has engaged in an intense military campaign to sway the Iranian proxy group Hezbollah to move its forces out of the southern border area and back to the Litani River. So right now they are saying they are not waiting. They are moving forward. They're pushing forward, trying to eliminate the threat. Now, also, the threat is still attacking them. I had shared with you that Israel, with those pager attacks, those walkie-talkie attacks that detonated and then hitting them and bombing them, that maybe they had devastated Hezbollah to the point where they were simply going to need to back off. Well, we're hearing no. They have been getting hit back. New rocket sirens triggered in Haifa and nearby towns. Fresh incoming rocket sirens are sounding in the northern coastal cities of Haifa and nearby towns. It marks the first time during the war that Hezbollah rockets has set off sirens inside of the city and not Haifa's suburbs. Hezbollah has launched nearly 200 rockets as Israel today, mostly targeting areas deep into the north. So this is going back and forth today, September the 23rd. Now, in addition to that, let's take a look at the live feeds here. This coming out from CNN. Israel strikes Hezbollah target as conflict intensifies. Jordan leader expresses solidarity with Lebanon and a call for UN action against Israeli aggression. So they are definitely picking sides here. We're hearing, it seems like, and I'm going to be sharing with you here in a second, Each nation is picking one of two sides. It's basically like the East versus the West right now. Officials in Jordan are expressing solidarity with Lebanon and calling for the United Nations to take action after Israel's military launched airstrikes on what it says are Hezbollah targets that ended the lives of hundreds of people. Jordan's King Abdullah warned Israel's strikes in Lebanon represented a dangerous escalation and called for immediate international efforts to prevent a broader conflict in the region. He made the comments on a call with the Lebanese Prime Minister Najib Mikati. The Royal Hashemite Court said in a statement on Monday. Abdullah also said there was an urgent need to halt Israel's conflict with Hamas in Gaza as a crucial step towards de-escalation. Earlier Monday, Jordan's Minister of Foreign Affairs, Ayman Safadi, called on the United Nations Security Council to act immediately to curb Israeli aggression and to protect the region from its disastrous consequences. Israel continues to push the region towards the abyss of a comprehensive regional war because the international community has failed to protect its laws and values, Safadi said on a post on X. He noted the Israeli strikes came as world leaders meet in New York for the United Nations General Assembly and said Israel's actions were in defense of the 2006 Security Council Resolution 1701, which called for the permanent ceasefire and end of hostilities between Hezbollah and Israel. The Jordanian Civil Aviation Authority also announced that it was suspending Jordanian flights to Beirut until further notice, citing heightened regional tensions, according to the statement. And we've heard this, as I shared with you yesterday, the United States saying, get out of the area. Today, we're hearing China saying, get out. Other nations saying, get out now. It looks like diplomacy will be failing. Things are escalating, and it looks like it could be all-out war. Now, take a look at the live feeds coming in here. You can see the total loss of life from Israeli strikes in Lebanon rises to 492, Health Ministry says. Some casualties likely caused by secondary explosions, Israeli military says. Let me be clear, Hezbollah is responsible for this situation, Hagari added. And take a look at this. Israeli military spokesperson doesn't rule out the possibility of ground operations taking place in Lebanon, Israel infiltrating by ground. An Israeli military spokesperson did not rule out the possibility of a ground operation into Lebanon when asked about it at a press briefing on Monday today. Asked whether the Israeli Defense Force or the IDF was prepared for a ground invasion and how quickly it could move in if an order came out. Daniel Hagari said, "Is the army prepared? Yes. The army is in full readiness, and we will do whatever is necessary to bring back home our citizens to the northern border safely." Earlier Monday, Hezri Halavi, the IDF chief of the general staff, said the military is, quote, striking targets and preparing for the next phase, which I will elaborate on shortly. It is intensifying. They're thinking about potential ground attacks. Also, in addition to that, Hamas, as I mentioned to you, Sinwar, they believe that he potentially could be wiped out. They're trying to verify it. So far have not been able to, but he has been missing for several days now, and we're not sure where he's at. He is hiding out. Now, in addition to that, today as well, Iranian president says Lebanon strikes are an Israeli trap to draw Tehran into war. Iran's foreign minister vows his country will not remain indifferent as Israel, under constant rocket fire, launches heavy strikes on Hezbollah sites across Lebanon. Iran's president accused Israel on Monday today of seeking a wider war in the Middle East and laying, quote, traps to lead his country into a wider conflict. Mossad Pezeshkian told about 24 media representatives that Iran does not want to see the current war in Gaza and airstrikes across the Israeli-Lebanon border expanded, saying that while Israel insists that it does not want a wider war, it is taking actions that show otherwise. He said he pointed to the explosions of the pagers, the walkie-talkies, and the other electronic devices in Lebanon last week, which he blamed on Israel, and the assassination of Hamas's political leader Ismail Haniyeh in Tehran on the eve of his inauguration. Now, they are dragging us to the point where we do not wish to go, the Iranian leader said to Israel. There is no winner in warfare. We are only fooling ourselves if we believe that. Since October 8th of 2023, the Iranian-backed Hezbollah terror group in Lebanon has attacked Israeli communities and military posts along the country's shared border on a near daily basis, and Israel has responded with airstrikes. Now on Monday, widespread Israeli airstrikes targeting Hezbollah in southern Lebanon ended the lives of at least 492 people Monday and injured 1,645 more. Beirut said as Israel cautioned that strikes against the group would expand, and Lebanese civilians were warned to flee areas where the Iran-backed groups was thought to be hiding their weapons. Meanwhile, Hezbollah fired volley after volley of rockets at Israel, setting off sirens deep into the northern Israeli area and as far south as some West Bank settlements near Tel Aviv. The previous day, the group bombarded northern communities with at least 150 rockets in one of its heaviest barrages since the fighting broke out on October 8th last year. Speaking to journalists in New York, Iran's Pezeshkian alluded to appeals from the West for Iran not to retaliate so as not to jeopardize U.S. efforts for a ceasefire in Israel's war against Hamas in the Gaza Strip, which began when that group attacked Israel on October 7th of 2023, ending the lives of 1,200 people, mostly civilians, and taking 251 hostages. They are saying that right now the United States, as I had mentioned, they had been saying for quite some time they believed a diplomatic solution was possible. That has significantly changed as of the past couple of days. We tried not to respond. They kept telling us that we are within reach of peace, perhaps in a week or so, he said. But we never reached that elusive peace. Every day, Israel is committing more atrocities and ending the lives of more and more people, old, young, men, women, children, hospitals, and other facilities, he said. Israel says that it seeks to minimize civilian facilities and stresses, fatalities, and stresses that Hamas uses Gaza's civilians as human shields, fighting from civilian areas, including homes, hospitals, schools, and mosques. Now, Pezeshkian did not reply directly when asked if Iran would now respond more directly to Israel. He said, "We always keep hearing, well, Hezbollah fired a rocket. If Hezbollah didn't even do that minimum, who would defend them?" He said. Curiously enough, we keep being labeled as the perpetrator of insecurity. But look at the situation for where it is. In April, Iran launched an unprecedented missile and drone attack against Israel after the assassination of several Iranian generals in Syria. The Islamic Republic fired some 300 projectiles from Iran, almost all of which were intercepted. Apart from that attack, however, Tehran has preferred to target Israel via proxy groups throughout the region. So Iran is actually supporting and funding the Houthis, Hezbollah, Hamas in these various nations to go forward and attack Israel. Iran's foreign ministry spokesperson, Nassar Kanani, also condemned the Israeli strikes against Lebanon on Monday, warning there will be dangerous consequences to the new adventure of the Zionists. Now, the country's foreign minister, Abbas Arghashi, shared photos on X that had been circulating on social media and were said to be from Lebanon, showing what appeared to be ambulances up in flames and a wounded elderly man. Israel's crimes, enabled by the United States, are crystal clear for the world to witness. Do not look away. This brutal and criminal disregard for human life cannot be permitted to continue. Iran will not remain indifferent. We stand with the people of Lebanon and Palestine, the president of Iran has said. So again, you guys, notice the verbiage here. They are directly blaming this as well on the United States. They are saying this is Israel and the U.S. The U.S. is enabling this. So they are also holding us accountable and blaming us. And we always see for quite some time, it's not just death to Israel. It is death to Israel, death to the United States. Now, in a video posted online, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu urged the Lebanese people to take Israel's evacuation warnings seriously and said they will be able to return home after the fighting is over, as I shared with you in that video footage. So Iran coming in and making a statement in all of this. And it's not just the Middle East. We've got Russia, Ukraine, we've got China, Taiwan, and take a look at this. Russian military planes breached Japanese airspace 3 times in one day. The infringements were the first by Russia in 5 years. According to the Japanese Defense Ministry, a fighter fired a warning flare in response. So things intensifying with Japan against Russia as well. So it does feel like sides are being drawn. And at this time, as I mentioned to you earlier, the Pentagon has announced today, September the 23rd, it's all seems like it's intensifying. They are sending over U.S. troops to the Middle East as the tensions are rising. When directly asked, does this mean war is about to start? They said, we cannot answer that for security purposes. We will not be responding to that. But they are sending it amid the tensions increasing and rising right now in the Middle East. So it feels like World War III for sure. So man, let me know your thoughts. Also, Patrick Malden, thank you for the $20 super chat. Steve, great work. You keep me more updated, better than the regular news. Appreciate the kind words in the super chat. I will continue to do so. I appreciate that a ton. And let me know your thoughts in here. I see 3s still coming in. Drop a 3 if you think that World War III is about to start. But there is so much updates that are coming out. Just it seems like every minute I'm checking the live feeds and there's more coming in. So I'll continue to keep you guys up to date on this. All of these articles, these videos, the things that I'm sharing with you, this is going to be linked in the description. So you can see it for yourself. All you really got to do right now is just Google search, though, Israel, Hezbollah, Lebanon, state of emergency, and you'll find it. But I'll cite the sources for you so that way you can see it. Because, yeah, it is pretty nuts right now. And just take a look at this video one more time with me of the Iron Dome just going off right now, trying to protect the nation of Israel as Hezbollah is firing those rockets into Israel. Absolutely incredible. And like I said, again, Benjamin Netanyahu telling them, get out. This is not slowing down. We're going to be eradicating the threat at this time. So also do me a favor, if you haven't done so yet, as those 3s are pouring in, take a second, hit that like button for me. It helps spread this out further so more people can get the latest updates. If you could do so, that would be great. I see we've got 1,682 people on with me live. It is currently 4:30 p.m. Central Standard Time here in the United States. And we've got 600 likes. If you could hit that, just spreads this out further. Subscribe to stay up to date. It's totally free. Make sure you're staying subscribed. People still letting me know that they're getting unsubscribed every day. Not sure why. We think it's a YouTube setting. Kind of annoying, but just make sure that you stay subscribed. I'll keep you up to speed on everything so you know exactly what is taking place. And you guys, it looks like things are intensifying. And like I said, if you're wondering where are we going from here, what's going to be unfolding, it looks like it is the East and the West. We've got the United States and its NATO alliance, the 35 nations. We've got Taiwan, we've got Ukraine, we've got Israel that we support. On the other hand, we have Russia, North Korea, China, Lebanon. It looks like several other nations, Iran. They are all unifying as well. And like I said, a lot of concern for Alaska in the United States. If you missed that video, you might want to check it out yesterday as I let you know that we're hearing about potential attacks against U.S. soil with China and Russia sending jet fighter planes over by Alaska, and they're saying they're invading the area. And there has been rhetoric coming across Alaska saying, hey, we want to take that land back to the mother country, discussing about how it was purchased back in, I can't remember what year it was. Hopefully I'm not getting this wrong. I think it was like 1866. And they're saying, we want that back. And Ukraine saying, understand what is unfolding over here right now with Ukraine and Russia. This is not an isolated incident. This is just phase one of what Russia is planning. They're planning to take over. It'll be Ukraine, then next it'll be another nation, or it'll be Alaska. But they're saying the reason why we are trying to stand our ground and not only protect our nation, but we're also trying to protect others is the message we're getting from Volodymyr Zelensky. Now, let me know your thoughts. But this is coming out right now that Alaska, we're hearing a major threat against the U.S., as they're saying that Alaska is getting eyed by Russia, and Russia has China right by their side. And I shared with you the map in the live stream when they announced it. You take a look at the map from the North Pole looking down, Alaska just right there, not too far away from Russia. So we will see. Things are intensifying, and it looks like World War III is going to be starting here pretty soon unless things change, because the trajectory that we are on, things are only intensifying, you guys. And I know I've been sharing it with you every time it's coming out. I let you know. We're hearing about World War III. Things are getting intense. Some people are saying, hey, I'm tired of hearing about it. When's it actually going to happen? I don't believe it. I think it's just a bunch of the, like whatever, a bunch of hype. You guys, whatever unfolds, I'll keep you up to date. But as of today, September the 23rd, 2024, it's looking like we're going to World War III. It looks like unless things change, it's only intensifying and escalating from here. Now, we will see. Let us pray against it. I hope that we don't go that route. But right now, things are just popping off around the world, and there's conflict with nation against nation, Japan against Russia, the United States against Russia, Ukraine against Russia, China, Taiwan, the United States, Taiwan, Israel, Lebanon, Turkey, Iran, Yemen, all of these nations coming against Israel. It is getting intense. So we're going to be seeing where we go from here. And like I said, I'll keep you guys up to speed on everything because, yeah, whatever unfolds, I'll let you guys know. So these articles, they're linked in the description below. Check them out along with additional resources. Hit that like button for me. Subscribe to stay up to date, and I'll keep you guys up to speed on everything as it just is coming out today. Every moment, every hour, there's an update. So if more comes out, I'll be sure to keep you guys up to date here on the channel. That is the latest, you guys. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll catch you in the next one. Take care. God